everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. The biggest challenge for these teams here may be dealing with the weather. Rain is falling, the field is slick, and it's not going to get any better as the game goes on. It'll be messy out there. It's the Steelers going up against the Redskins. So for the call of this Week 17 matchup, let's send it out to our broadcast team, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, we are due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Washington Redskins. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season, Week 17, is underway. This one taken from the 7. And it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Little motion now from the tight end. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
And the good thing about the top-notch safeties, they can play from deep coverage or they can play close to the line of scrimmage, and the end result is often the same, a big-time play for their defensive team. And that's exactly what we just saw.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
Hurry up, here we go.
Back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. A gain of 13 and also a first down. So opening drive 3rd down, they complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps upfield, break towards the middle, the ball should be there, and then they can do some work afterwards.
The tight end changing his position. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
He'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is caught inside the 5. A huge play there for Washington. 55 yards.
But it took a shot downfield towards the end zone, and it came up with a big-time catch, but he was tackled a little bit short of the goal line. Now the defensive guys, they got to pick their heads up and try and hold them to a field goal attempt.
And the offense inside the 5 here at the 4. It's 1st and goal. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
Stephon Tuitt's ability to play defensive end and yet rise up and knock passes away when quarterbacks try to throw them, he makes it hard to get around.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. It's the fullback. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And the kick goes outside the white lines. That's why the flag comes out.
Yes, and that was an error by the kicker, and it will give the offense great starting field position.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And a look at the offense that is hoping to put some points up in bunches here in this one. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. They'll go again with Bell. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now back to throw. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped, altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it, and now 4th down. So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Let's go! Blue landing! Blue landing! All right, now, lucky 56! Lucky 56!
Back to throw now on first down. Dancing, and no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on first down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And caught, right side, Green. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Head coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll come out in the pistol. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. So it is 3rd down now, but less than a yard to go. They'll look to throw here. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. 9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on 2nd down.
3 down. All right, here we go. 3 down.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Being chased out left. His throw incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
They'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket, and he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
So still in search of the first down after that last completion.
The Steelers insert their nickel defense on third down.
Yeah, they add a DB. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. That one goes for 34 yards. And it's good enough for a Pittsburgh first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Oh, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback, and that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the second interception in the first half.
First down line at the 34 here on third down. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
4 minutes to play here in quarter number 2. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On third down, Lynch. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, fourth down. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be taken at the 13. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And the Steelers set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guy.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's second down.
How many times have we sat with coordinators, and especially the defensive guys that talked about big plays, sacks, they often come in bunches? Well, it may not be a bunch here, but that is the third sack of the game for them.
And around sack 3 or 4, I would think it starts to get in the quarterback's head a little bit.
Not just the quarterback, the offensive play caller, the offensive line, knocks people off balance and changes what they normally do.
The reception good for 7. It's third down. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Out left side here to Bryant. And he is going to lose yardage here. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well-conceived, well-designed, and even better executed.
And now Lynch steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down, and he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. Officially a minute 54 to go in this first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. And they'll lose a yard that time. And now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 3 yards left to grab here on third down.
Now let's go.
Lynch now throwing on third. And he goes out of bounds inside the 10 at the 9. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And the Steelers signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Second down, goal to go from the 6. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Third down and goal from the 6. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal. Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is good. And that will make our score 9-0. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Trying to lay one up deep. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
There's no shyness there pushing the ball downfield, but I like the coverage on the play. In good position. And when you have a 50-50 ball, who's going to come down with it? I like the way they made the play, came across, and knocked it away.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Dancing to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. And it's 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he gets it away, and it's a laser. Headed for the sidelines. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10. I think it is. At the 6-yard line. The Redskins offense now. They head back onto the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Lynch surveying the field. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Final play of the half. It's Lynch. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that is incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. Well, my apologies, Larry. I wanted to hear the report. Somebody's in a hurry. So we're going to get them right to quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. And he'll get it up the middle. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, defensively, you've got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop him, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game, one of the premier runners in the NFL.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Let's go.
It's a quarterback sneak. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Redskins will take control of the football in great field position. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
And that drop will cause a little bit of angst for the play caller because you know they've worked all week game planning and flexing the tight end out and making him a matchup issue for the defense. They had what they wanted, and he drops the ball.
Yeah, just couldn't hang on to the slant. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Play clock winding down. Lynch to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Here we go now.
Now a handoff working right. Stays on his feet. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Here's Lynch. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
Here we go now.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And caught right side, Green. That one good for 12 yards. And it'll be a second down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Really nice little connection there. They go with the corner route, and it works out well.
And the best way to set up the corner route is to throw slants throughout the ball game so that when you're able to get back outside, the defender has to respect the inside game.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a first down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And Green with a catch left side. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Back to throw again. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put it up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it. Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On the right side, caught by Green. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Second down following the run. They come out here in the eye.
No. Check, Patriot. Shot, Blue,
On second down, it's Bell. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward to get the first down.
Now Bell. And he is going to lose yardage here. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. They run it with McKinnon. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. It'll be a gain of 4, but it'll bring us now to a 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing.
They got to have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And no, it's incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this shutout is going to continue as the defense holds again. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
It's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And that was textbook 3-4 defense. Normally the defensive line just eats up blocks. In this case, they ate up the blocks and still made the play against the running game. Really, really nice job.
And the slot man goes in motion left. On 3rd down, Lynch. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he's out of bounds right at the 25.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
That's so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from him.
And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels.
Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Third and 2. Now Lynch. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Fielded at the 20. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Yeah, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. He'll look to throw. He's got his tight end complete. It's Green. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Here's McKinnon. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Caught left side by Cobb. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. And quickly, they get to the line. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Shreds the tackle, and not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So they're behind the chains as the offense. 12 yards needed on third down.
Now let's go.
Throwing now is Lynch. Finding time. He's going to let this one go deep. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. A great read, and it's picked off. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. The Steelers' offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Again, he'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. This is Bell on the dump off. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner. Get him.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
And there's the touchdown that they needed, so they'll celebrate. But the guys on the sidelines, they've got to stay focused. The onside kick team, they need them to get the ball back.
Yeah, part one of the equation done. Now they need to convert and get that onside kick. So a big play now as the Steelers will go for 2. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. So with just under 40 seconds to go, you figure this is going to need to bounce their way if they have any shot. And this will be recovered by the Redskins, and that should just about do it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner, but where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a game. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And they're really trying to build something. Beginning of the year, they said they thought 8 wins was a number to reach to call this season a success, and this win means they got there.
I like where you went with that, building something. Not every team is going to be equipped to win 10, 12, 14 games in a season. Know your team, know your personnel. Now that they've accomplished that goal, I think they'll set